Hello everybody and welcome to Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Now this is obviously the next iteration of the Assassin's Creed franchise, and if you haven't played Assassin's Creed 1 through 3, including like Revelations and Brotherhood and all that, no worries, this is a whole new storyline. And while there is a little bit of mention of Desmond, it's definitely a new storyline, and you will not really be lost at all if you haven't played any of those. But if you haven't played any of those, you definitely should, because this is probably one of my favorite newer franchises, to be honest. So maybe I'm a little bit biased, but this game is pretty damn fantastic. So I am about 10-ish% of the way through this game so far. I've played about 2 hours, maybe a little bit more. And right now I am trying to find a schooner so I can take its cargo. And I definitely wanted to show off one of the, I guess, highlights of this game, which is the ship combat. Now, Assassin's Creed 3, people actually quite liked the ship combat in Assassin's Creed 3, but it wasn't really, there wasn't much of it in it. Now I gotta slow down here so I can actually, so I can actually attack this here schooner. And I kind of screwed it up. I gotta turn my boat. Come on, turn it. And a little bit more. Boom. So, my goal here is to incapacitate it or to sink it and get half the cargo. To incapacitate it, I have to get it to like where that little red line is, I believe, and it will start to catch on fire. I'm gonna speed up my boat a little bit here, so I can kind of get in a little bit closer. Yes, I know. I just explained that game. Okay, so I don't wanna attack this boat anymore. Otherwise, it will sink. I do want all of the cargo. Oh shit. I'm not gonna worry about that boat right there right now. What I want to do though is board this, and here's where the ship combat gets really fun. You kind of take a boat down to its disabled bout, and your crew here, which I did actually kind of recruit in Nassau a little bit earlier to kind of help me out, they will reel in this here boat, which will give us the ability, excuse me, to climb aboard and murder the crew. Now, is to be expected with the Assassin's Creed franchise. The combat is very smooth, and I think the combat is probably a little bit better than it has been previously in this iteration of the game, because oh god, I have no idea what's going on. Let me turn my camera a little bit. You definitely have to be on your toes when fighting. When they have a little red exclamation point above their head, that means you have to counter them or, well, suffer the consequences. And my crew guy just died there because I was not doing so hot in combat. Alright, let's counter this fool and murder him. Now, combat is a little bit hectic on the boats when you are actually on it with your crew. You have to be wary of your crew, and you have to kind of be wary of your other guys. When you're fighting solo, you definitely gotta be a little bit more cautious. You don't want to overwhelm yourself, because when you overwhelm yourself, of course, you're going to die pretty damn easily. And the combat in the Assassin's Creed franchise has always been kind of one of the highlights of it. I think it's a different take on the combat, and it never really is difficult without feeling cheated, if that makes any sense. You know, you gotta be wary of your surroundings. I believe there's gonna be a cutscene here, so I'm gonna let you guys listen.
I am Captain Hornigold, and this is my crew. We're sailors like yourselves, but quite unalike in our purpose. For we intend to take all that you own. Yet no harm shall befall any man so long as he remains at ease. Is that clear?
No me mate, señor. Tengo familia. Se lo suplico.
Anyone speak English? English?
Little bit.
Tell your friends we're stealing your goods, and we won't hurt nobody if everyone stays as still as a sandbar. You got that?
Please to repeat.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Whoa,
Lock
language.
them in the hold and take everything that isn't nailed down.
Alright, so this is a little bit less serious of a Assassin's Creed game. Alright, let's gather this. But it has a little bit of a comedic relief. I almost said comedy relief. Well, I guess that kind of makes sense a little bit. But, anyways, it's definitely a little bit less serious than the previous games. You know, it's about pirates. It's being badass assassin slash pirate, and I think they hit the mark. I mean, for one, this game looks damn beautiful. I'm getting attacked, so let's fight back here. There. Oh, okay. So I guess that boat got annihilated. Now let's see. I have to go gather the cargo here. I believe I have to take down another boat. So let's use my spyglass here. Another schooner there. So let's set the marker. But yeah, this game is damn beautiful. You know, from the open water to the, I guess I want to say a little bit of a tropical environment. I mean, it's, I believe it's the Caribbean. I mean, you do visit Havana, so it's pretty tropical to say the least. But they've done a really nice job at making this game look really pretty. All right, let's start attacking this here schooner. Oh, I guess I got. Okay, let's use our side cannons here and open fire. All right, turn your boat. Turn your boat. I am definitely not amazing at the at steering the boats quite yet, and I hope I didn't break it. Okay, let's slow down and board. Please don't crash into it. You gotta be careful of crashing into things. I've I've destroyed my boat pretty badly, crashing into islands and rocks and stuff, just because I'm not a very good captain. But the boats do handle fairly well. Let's see. Come on, reel it in. But the boats do handle fairly well. You know, it could use a little bit of work, I think, but for the most part, it handles pretty decently. I'm actually gonna pull out my gun and shoot this fool dead. And yes, you do have guns. They do make a return, but these guns are definitely more, I guess, what you would expect of the pirate times. So, oh, missed the counter. So again, you gotta be on your toes in the combat. You can't be kind of getting yourself overwhelmed, because you gotta be paying attention to all the guys attacking you. You know, if you have 10 guys attacking you, it's gonna be very difficult. And of course, the combat is extremely brutal, as is to be expected. It feels more weighty in this game, if that makes any sense. You know, when you get hit, it feels like you're actually being hit, and I can't tell what is going on. I'm stuck on this cannon. Oh, lost a crew member, and I got a nice little poke by a sword. So they just surrendered, and we're gonna steal their shit. All right, are we gonna see the same cutscene or? Nope. The voice acting in this game and all the cutscenes so far are pretty good. I'm gonna repair this a little bit. We did get their cargo, which is what we were after. So here's another cutscene. The reason I kind of wanted to do a little bit earlier in the game is so that I have a decent amount of a decent amount of, I guess, progress towards Edward here, but at the same time not spoiling too much of the story. So now we're going to see a little bit more of the open sea sailing.
I'll be king of the West Indies then.
We came to Nassau to
Sorry,
get
I'm trying to
away
listen.
from the likes of kings.
Well, I'll be a man of property and promise anyway.
Jesus, let that dream go, lad. Nassau is the place to be, not England.
Do you ever dream of the big score? A ship so full of gold and silver, just split it and sail home.
Sure, but it's only a dream. Every man hopes to find a dozen chests of gold with no owners. They're as rare as an honest king.
So anyways, now we'll have an opportunity to see more of the sort of open sea sailing, you know, going towards an island here. And the hunting of Assassin's Creed 3 does make a return. You'll hunt animals and skin them to sort of upgrade your gear here in the menu, which let's see, Edward upgrades, you know, you just go into here and you can kind of craft different things by getting different skins. So I already crafted a pistol holder and a health upgrade, but you'll be doing more hunting to do so. Alrighty. So as you get more and more speed, the boat's going to become more and more difficult to handle, which has gotten me has gotten me into some hot water a few times, I will admit. Alrighty. This is a pretty far away island. And this man that's singing has a lovely voice. They do a great job at making it feel like you're actually a pirate. And a lot of people were a little bit weary, you know, going, hey, an Assassin's Creed pirate game, that's not gonna go well. It's like a ninja and a pirate combined. That's not, they're supposed to be against each other, but no, it works. It works real well, actually. So is this a city we're going to, or is this just like an island here? I think it's just an island, but maybe it's it's a small little settlement, it looks like. I've not yet done this, so... Oh god, slow down, Edward. There you go. Alright, so I should probably go a little bit further towards the dock so we can actually get to the dock. Alright, so looks like I'm upgrading my ship here. Don't... Oh. I do that too often. But that's just me being horrible at steering ships. So the free running, as to be expected, is fairly good. It does still, which is always still, is, what am I trying to say? I apologize, I just like completely had a brain aneurysm right there. But the free running does still feel a little bit wonky, you know, sometimes you stick to things that you don't really want to stick to. But for the most part, it works as well as you would expect it to. It does feel like you're able to get more high places, more vertical faster, though. Which is always good, because it was a little bit slow at times climbing. So let's talk to this fine young gentleman here and purchase an upgrade. So, I guess you have to purchase this. And there we go. It looks pretty much the same, I guess, but it's better. Funny how someone far better at captaining a ship here parked it for me. So this memory was just completed. Something that I do like a lot is that rather than hold on. Okay. In the previous Assassin's Creed games, they kind of...
Keep this up and Nassau will be the first city where men and women may live as God made them. Easy and free. All it takes is a few drops of blood, sweat, and a swatch of cloth.
We fly no colours out here. Praise the lack of them. So let the black flag signal nothing but your allegiance to man's natural freedoms. This one's yours. Fly it proud.
I will.
A hand over the docket I lent you. If we're to keep our republic afloat, we'll need guns as well as gold.
That means attacking the Navy.
So long as they're flying King Philip's colours will not offend our own monarch.
Anyways,
As you've likely seen, the number of merchants roving these waters is 70 the number of military ships.
Aye, easy purchase, but in small doses.
Right. So to lure the Navy out of hiding, it's best to cause a bit of mischief.
Catch a few small fish to attract the big ones.
That's right. So plunder and pillage as you see fit, Captain Kenway.
will do, dude. As I was saying, apologies. Didn't realize there was going to be a cutscene there. Anyways, a welcome sort of change that a lot of people seem to complain a little bit about is that there's far less interruption to actually being an assassin. You know, in the previous games, you would kind of get kicked out of memories to control Desmond and do kind of silly little stuff with him. Well, not really silly, I guess, but sort of less fun things than murdering people viciously as an assassin. So you'd be kind of running around as Desmond, and that kind of definitely interrupted the flow of the gameplay a little bit. And this, I've only been interrupted twice by the Abstergo thingy, and that is definitely a welcome change. You know, it feels a lot more immersive. You know, you're always a pirate pretty much. And in the 2-3 hours of gameplay I've played, I've only gone out of control of Edward twice. And I think that is definitely a welcome change. And I'm actually about to run out of recording time because I am playing on the PS4. But I am going to cut to some city gameplay here in a second, so see you soon. Okay, so now we are in Havana, one of the main cities in the game, and as you can tell, it looks fairly decently sized. Let's see if I can't get to this here viewpoint up there to show you sort of a sense of scale. and what the cities generally kind of look like. I mean, if you played an Assassin's Creed game before, I'm sure you probably already somewhat know what the cities tend to be like. But let's pet this dog first, actually. Yeah, who's a good boy? But yeah, it's your pretty standard Assassin's Creed city. It's, from my understanding, modeled fairly closely to what it might have looked like back in the day of, well, when this game takes place. Climb up there, Edward. There we go. Can I even get up there very easily? Doesn't look like. Well, let's see. Maybe I won't get up there that way, but now, as you can tell, the city definitely, they throw a lot in there to make the city look quite alive, and you definitely won't be disappointed walking around it, doing things, you know, missions, collecting things, assassin's contracts. You know, they have a lot of things in the game to keep you occupied if you aren't necessarily concerned about the main story 100%, which, you know, hopefully you are. It's a fairly good story. I've actually gotten to, I want to say, let's see here, 15%, 16%, 17%, holy cow. So I was at like 8-9% before when I originally started recording, but now I am, of course, at 17%. So I was trying to find a city, but then I wasn't able to until this point when I could fast travel. But anyways, so among all the good things that I have stated thus far, this game is by no means perfect. I think it's a fantastic game, and if you're a fan of the series, or if you're looking to get into the series, definitely pick this game up and play it. It's a fantastic game, but as far as an Assassin's Creed game goes, I feel like they focus a little bit too much on sailing. You know, if you're playing the Assassin's Creed franchise, you kind of want to be assassinating people, and I should probably not be running around on this rooftop, but yeah, you want to be kind of assassinating people, and there's not as much assassinating gameplay as I would like there to be, or as you would expect from an Assassin's Creed game. I mean, there are definitely assassination missions, but they're pretty few and far between so far. I mean, I've only gotten maybe 2 or 3 of them. I think only 2 so far, and while they're fairly good, it relied a little bit too much on kind of sailing around, getting to that point. And while the sailing works fairly well, it gets a little bit tiresome at some point. You know, you have to sail around, and there's quite a bit of fetch quests too between like the assassination missions. Like I had to at one point collect 75 metal scrap by shooting ships, and I understand that they're trying to kind of get you to get used to the sailing into the ship combat and accustomed to that kind of thing, but at the same time, I would like there to be a little bit more focus on assassinating targets as you would in the previous games, because I think that was a highlight. You know, I really enjoyed sort of walking around, plotting my point of entry, so to speak, of attacking. I'm going to talk to this guy and try and upgrade some weapons here. Let's see. Speed 2. Let's get these. I guess I can't. I don't have nearly enough money. So let's buy these. Confirm. But there's your basic upgrade systems. Pretty similar to how it worked before. You can buy upgrades to your armor, craft upgrades to your armor and everything. I believe I already showed off the crafting system. But yeah, it's an excellent game so far, but again, there's a little bit too much focus on the sailing, and I understand they want you to feel like a pirate, but you gotta remember, this is in fact an Assassin's Creed game, and I'm gonna stab these guys in the face just cause, you know. But it is an Assassin's Creed game. You do expect to be a little bit more assassinating than there is, and I'm almost 20% of the way through the game, and I've only killed or assassinated a couple targets, which is a little bit worrisome. I mean, maybe it picks up a little bit. I'm gonna pet this cat. Maybe it picks up a little bit much later in the game, but again, it just I want to stab people in the head. You know, that's what assassinating or Assassin's Creed is all about, is getting your revenge for deeds in the past. And I do appreciate that they're trying to take a little bit of a different direction. You know, I mean, people are getting a little bit bored, I think, of get up there, of Ezio, so it's a good sort of change of pace. You kind of have to work towards becoming a full lone assassin. But again, a little bit less emphasis on the sailing and fetch quests, and a little bit more on the combat and actually being a badass assassin. So let's actually, wow. So here you go, I actually did manage to get up to this, I guess. It was more easy than it looked, but beautiful city, beautiful game. But don't let what I just said kind of detract you or make you think, oh, this is a sailing game, it's not an Assassin's Creed game. No, it's definitely still an Assassin's Creed game. The combat is there, the assassinations are there, while they're few and far between so far. It takes a little bit to get to them. But it's definitely, if you are a fan of the series, if you want to get into the series, pick up this game. Don't let the fact that there's a little bit too much focus on the sailing at some points deter you. And I think some people are going to really enjoy the sailing, and some people are going to hate it. That's something that I kind of appreciate, you know? It's a risk that Ubisoft took, which is always welcome, you know? It's good to not have the same game over and over again. And I think, again, it's a welcome change. If you leave the area, the warehouse will be empty. What? Anyways, it's a welcome change, though, that they're taking those risks. That they're kind of mixing up the gameplay a little bit, you know? So definitely, I definitely recommend this game quite a bit. I mean, it's by no means perfect. I think, what does that mean? I think, again, there's a little bit too much emphasis on the sailing and less emphasis on the being an assassin so far in this iteration of the game, but it's still a really great, solid game, and you still feel like a badass. I mean, I can be like, hey there, fellows, I'm just going for a lovely stroll, and I like to put my knife in your face. So enjoy that. And now these guys are going to be pissed at me, and it gives you the opportunity to run away. I mean, that element of the Assassin's Creed franchise is still here, so you're not going to be worrying about that too much, you know? It's still very much so an Assassin's Creed game, if that at all proved it, you know? Still got your big open cities and your guards chasing you. So it's an Assassin's Creed game with pirates tacked onto it, seems like. And I think it's definitely a welcome addition. So I'm gonna stop rambling about this game. Definitely pick it up. Very fun, very fantastic, and I think it's a welcome addition to the Assassin's Creed franchise. So as always, thank you for watching, and see you next time.